So in this struggle to ask yourself what life would be like if you were in the first kind of society, a socialism a la Scandinavia, versus the next kind of socialism, the communist variety as you had it in Russia and China, working people, you and I, would have to ask, what will life be like in that kind of arrangement? We don't have mass unemployment. We have government services on a scale we don't in other societies, and we have economic growth. But we also have the uncertainties, the instabilities, and the concentration of power that might be a problem. Now let's ask what the third kind of socialism would mean for us. A socialism that focused on the enterprise and the workplace more than on the overall running of the society. What would it mean for you and I to go to work every day, 5 days a week, 9 to 5, and walk into a place where we don't just have a particular assigned function, do this, work there, live with that machine, do this activity. We would have a particular function, but we would also be part of what owns and operates the enterprise. We would have to be a leader, not a choice. Just as it's not a choice for most people to go to work and do the particular function at the job, you would not have a choice here either, in the sense that a job always means both a particular activity within the division of labor at your workplace, but also your participation in making all of the basic decisions: what to produce, how to produce, where to produce, and what to do with the profits that you helped to produce, just like every other worker. You'd be part of a community at the workplace. You'd have one vote for each person. Decisions would be made democratically. The design of the work, the pace of the work, how you interact with other people on the job, all of those things would be decided collectively and not imposed by a minority. You'd have to think, is that a better way to work? Is that kind of workplace something that has attracted people for centuries to co-ops, to worker co-ops, to collective forms of labor? What does it mean in your own life? I think the idea of this third socialism is to achieve something in your daily life that the other two socialisms never did. That when the first kind had the government regulation, or the second kind, the communist kind, had the government take over, the transformation of the workplace never happened. You were still the worker who comes and does what he or she is told for the 8 hours and then goes home. This is a new world, this third kind of socialism. That's why it's probably the one you're going to hear most about in the years ahead, because it is new and it doesn't have quite the problems that the other ones do. But here are some problems that the new one will have too. How do these worker co-ops, these communities in each factory, in each store, in each office, how do they interact with one another? Will they use markets to buy and sell from one another? Will they employ some kind of collective planning of how they interact with one another? It will be a new world, this socialism, because it is composed of people who are really in charge of their economic lives in a way that was never true under capitalism and not true under other forms of socialism either, because they were focused on running the system, on the overall, and not on the particular in each workplace. We'll have to discover in this new socialism, if and when it happens, how we interact with one another when all the details of the work are collectively designed. When everybody is a boss as well as a bossed person. When we rotate whatever particular functions have to be in leadership so that we don't get one group that are leaders all the time and everybody else who isn't. All of those things will change. We will have to learn new ways of interacting with one another. But if the idea of socialism really is, as it was once said it would be, to go beyond capitalism, to do better than capitalism, well, then that third one is by far the most transformative for people's lives of the three that are contesting.